Hey guys, my name is Chloe Bradford, and I chose to do a curriculum review of the 5th grade immigration unit that I got off Teacher Pay Teacher for free. And so it has definitely some strength and some weaknesses to it, and we'll talk about that throughout this curriculum review. Here is a quick overview of what it contains, but it's pretty long. They get to talk about what an immigrant is on the first day. They talk about Lady Liberty. They talk about a poem. They really analyze that poem. They just talk about facts from the Statue of Liberty. They do a flip book activity, which gets the students to choose from the teacher's resources, and they get to talk about the push and pull factor, and they all talk about different immigrants and then come together. They make a flip book that talks about the push and pull factor. They share that with their peers and learn from their peers. They do, she incorporates a geography lesson in there, and then down here, Our Immigrant Pass is where they talk about Ellis Island, and they get to create their own family tree, and they research their own family. You know, they sit back a little bit and make themselves a family tree so they can see kind of that effect of immigration in their own families. Philosophical and theoretical traditions. So I do think that this unit is on the side of transformation. I think that there are some adaptations that need to be made, but you know, the book actually kind of says that it, you know, transformation should be approaches to education that are critical of the dominant social order and motivated by a desire to ensure both political and economic democracy. And so I do think this unit has underlying ways that it does do that. It, you know, looks at immigration, and she incorporates all these projects, but she also gets them to investigate. You know, our readings talk so much about, you know, historical investigations, and I know that, you know, social studies today really stresses that students should be able to do this. And so I do think that instead of the teacher giving the students a book and saying, here's the questions that you need to answer, like, this teacher does not do that. It is much different than that, and that's what I do like about it. She incorporates projects. She gets them to look at, you know, the hardships of immigrants. She gets them to take multiple perspectives of it. She gets them to even put themselves in their own the shoes of an immigrant in an activity that I'll talk about in just a second. But also, I do think that it most closely aligns with the philosopher Dewey, because, you know, Count more so indoctrinates, you know, he had the idea of indoctrinating kind of students with a particular theory of social welfare, while Dewey kind of believed that the school should participate in the general intellectualization of society by calculating a method of intelligence. And I do think that this unit does do some of that. I think that, you know, it's giving students the ability to investigate, like I said, and they even investigate, you know, what the meaning of an immigrant is, and she lets them, when they analyze the poem, she lets them, you know, get a dictionary and do some of that, and then also just cause for discussion. You know, each line they analyze, they come up with a discussion on what they think, you know, it might mean, and I think that that's really important. But I do believe that it's on the side of Dewey, like giving them the intelligence they need to make social decisions. So, you know, she's giving them the intelligence of, you know, investigating and talking about this hardship that immigrants went through, and then, you know, hopefully later on they can make decisions about that. But one thing that this unit is missing that I will talk about later is, you know, the contemporary side of it, the contemporary issue that immigrants, you know, that's still something that, you know, the U.S. faces, and people in the U.S. face, these immigrants come over, they face hardships still today, and we, you know, even at 5th grade, the teacher would have kind of talked about that and made it developmentally appropriate. Conclusions about the political aim, and so I do think that, you know, it's more on the side of democratic patriotism. Of course, I do not think it's authoritarian patriotism. The teacher, you know, does, you know, talk about equality as they talk about immigrants and how they, you know, did not have equal rights, of course, and civil liberties. And I think, you know, that this unit does more closely align to that, and it does go against authoritarian patriotism. Let's see, citizens. So in Social Studies Today on page 39, it does say a basic requirement of democratic citizenship, for example, is experiencing and analyzing and interpreting information, and this is precisely what historical investigations provide. Citizens must also work together to reach conclusions based on incomplete and conflicting information, and this is, this is an inescapable element of historical inquiry. And so, yes, this is something that people can fight about, and it's controversial. And I think that that's a very good quote, because, we shouldn't avoid that in our classrooms. That's okay. It's okay to disagree, but, civilly, disagreeing is what we should be doing. We can debate and we can talk and we can disagree, or we can look at both sides, and be good citizens in doing that. And we can teach our kids how to be good citizens in doing that, because they're going to face those social issues, later in their life. And that's where it takes me to the end of that question, where it says, what implications will result? And that'll be that, they come to us with those beliefs. I mean, like we read this week, they come to us with beliefs about Pocahontas. They come to us with all of these false beliefs, and sometimes we need to clear that up for them. But we need to really teach them how to be informed citizens that can look at these social issues and say, how can this be solved for the community or the common good? And that's where it takes me to that bottom quote, where it says, prioritizing the community or common good over one person's interest is an essential understanding in civic virtue. And it really stresses civic virtue in Obenchain and Pennington. And, that is really not looking at your own self, but the community. And I think that this unit does do that some. I think that it could have even, adapted to make it better. But we'll talk about that in just a second. The National Council for Social Studies Indicators. So I do think it met a lot of this. It says challenging social studies instruction includes research, debates, discussions, projects of all varieties, and simulations. And I do think it made those students think critically when they had to research. She gave them several opportunities to research. They got to research and discuss, and they got to do the flipbook project. And so I do think that it met that part of the NCSS. Also down here it talks about, they need to be able to consider new ideas and assimilate multiple perspectives, and I do think that was a big strength from this unit, because they got to, one of the activities allowed the students, she assigned them a country, and they had to act like, they had to move to the U.S. and they had to talk about their own country. What was it like? What are the jobs like? What is the weather like? And they had to act like, they had to choose a place in the U.S. to go. And I think putting the students, getting them to put themselves in the shoes of an immigrant is, that's very important. The multiple perspectives, letting them see that perspective. Problem solving, debate, simulations, project-based learning, and role-playing. I think that what I just talked about could have went under role-playing, and, I do think she allowed for some student discovery. Strengths and weaknesses. Here, I think a strength was when, they analyzed the poem. I think that was awesome. I think, there again, when I talked about historical investigations from Social Studies Today, I think that that is where, she let them investigate some, and I think that's great. The flip book is when they were able to use some research. They got to research an immigrant, and everyone had somebody different, and they got to choose, was it the push or the pull factor? And she modeled that first with some literature, but then they got to create this flip book and teach their peers, and I thought that was a good project that they got to do. And then this last box, this is where they got to do some role playing. They, it says, for reasons unknown to you, your families wish to immigrate to the U.S. You have been asked for your input to help them pick and place in which they settle. It must be a place that will make your family feel geographically most at home. What kind of climate are you used to? What is your native landscape like? What kind of jobs? So they had to really research that place and decide, where can we go? And, maybe there again, that's with the perspective, putting themselves in their shoes and seeing the hardships there. So I do think that the strengths are that this teacher used a lot of literature throughout this unit. You know, she definitely did that. She used multiple perspectives, different resources there. I do think the family tree was a good idea. I think it should have went further, not just looking at, you know, themselves, but looking at the good of the community and looking at contemporary issues still going on with immigration. A weakness was one of the days where they learned about the Statue of Liberty. She just gave them a sheet that, you know, had facts on it, and I think that would have been a good time to use more research. Some adaptations. According to the NCSS, it does say that, you know, social studies needs to be purposeful and meaningful and challenging, and I think this unit was challenging. But it needs to, at the end it says be reflective of contemporary social diverse global realities, and it is a reality that immigration is, you know, still something that's so controversial in our where we live, and people, you know, are facing hardships still today, and teachers must let their students know that this is, you know, still an issue, and it's okay to talk about those things, but we must, you know, still make them developmentally appropriate. But it's good for them to know, because later on in life, like I said earlier, they're going to need to be able to make those informed decisions about those social issues. And then I added this link here, but this is a link to an archive that I thought might have been a good thing to add to the unit as well. It's just different immigrants and their firsthand accounts and what they've been through and things like that. And so it has a lot of good resources, primary resources there for our kiddos. And I think another thing that I might add would be like a gallery walk. I do love those. I always love looking at primary resources, but also doing a photo walk or gallery walk where they can, you know, really study a photo and make a cause for good discussion. And I think that that might have been another thing I would have added to this unit. But I do like how this teacher used a lot of projects. I do like how she incorporated a lot of literature, and they studied a poem. I think that was amazing. The big thing that I would add is to talk about, you know, the contemporary side of it. But I know that, you know, that's a hard thing to do, especially with elementary learners. They're, you know, our little kiddos, and we're scared, you know, to bring up these things going on in our world, but it's important for them to be able to be participants in our democracy, and they can only do that through practice. And so maybe a debate or a civil discussion would have been a good thing to add to this unit as well. But that is my curriculum review, and thank you for listening.